What's the definition again? Manipulate using psychological methods into questioning their own sense. What? Does that even have grammar in it? Here's the definition of gaslighting. First of all, is the narcissistic favorite tool. Alright? And somehow it's different from a lie. It works a little bit different, and if you know what narcissist is, the me person, how does the narcissist lie to the public? Oh, look at this guy over there. Or maybe a Russian leader. Look at that one. But you're telling me Americans have a narcissistic president. Alright, cool. Very useful right now. I mean, you can see the way Trump is attempting to divert the public of like, well, it's not important. It's a lie, right? But why would we believe this? Well, it comes from Trump. If Trump is your source of information, then why would Trump be the source of information? Why would a narcissist be a source of information? Because we project capability. They're capable of technically bending reality. They have the capacity to change the way reality works. And what comes out of their mouths usually is the reality. Like, they're just going to change it that way. Is it a lie? Well, it's definitely a lie if they don't have the capacity. But, you know, that's the stuff that you need evidence for to become the ultimate narcissist, right? You have to have an army, you have to have muscle, you have to have support, blah, 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 basically, right? Evidence comes to play to reassure that the narcissist is capable of gaslighting, alright? This is the way it works. What is the fucking condensed definition? I don't yet have it. But we might have it in the end of the video. A lie is an attempt to manipulate, but the manipulator himself doesn't actually care about the lie. A narcissist does care about the lie, right? And wants you to adopt it, alright? Technically, if you know what royalty is, it's not difficult to understand that the lie is, well, that you're going to get punished, that everyone follows the narcissist, that you can't just backstab a narcissist and get away with it, right? It's that they have a good, big backing behind them. And you can't just assassinate the narcissist. Not gonna work. They have a lot of protection. So even royalty enslaves you and has all the money and just controls everything. You can't just loot them and get away with it. Alright, that's what makes them royal to begin with. There's some kind of structure that keeps them intact and fully supported. A lie, normally you don't even want to have like a central position. And it's also known as the government. The government does not tell you what shirt to wear, what shoes to wear. It just sends reinforcement on the things that it finds that breaks, right? We find cheat codes, they send reinforcements, they use decentralized idea of surveillance. It's not necessarily policing, but right now it comes from policing. But that's how this purple substance operates, alright? The wind element. To lie to people, I mean, you just have to position yourself where people are asking for a question. They bounce off of you, and you lie to them. You poison their answer, or you bent it just in the right direction the way you like it. You don't blatantly lie ever. There's no such thing as a pure lie, but you bend the truth to benefit yourself, right? To create a hurricane around you, Because when you find the genie, you ask for more wishes. You poison the lie to make sure that people return back to you. And that's the most efficient way to lie, right? But you're still not like a holy figure that needs to be respected. So, alright. You fundamentally understand that gaslighting comes from this narcissistic personality. Alright. There's 9 forms of gaslighting, and we're gonna go through all of them. I have some stories of my own, some experiences of my own. But if you just deal with people, you will encounter bullying very quickly. And every single time when gaslighting must take place, there has to be the bigger guy, basically. If I am not getting a lot of views, if I'm attacking a bigger YouTuber, there's a bigger guy. And everyone just points a finger of like, well, he's bigger and better and smarter and faster. What are you gonna do, bro? And it's like, based on what? The evidence people have is subscriber count. Sometimes the evidence is very flawed. Sometimes they gaslight themselves by just not having enough evidence and judging based on like oversimplified criteria. There's a lot of variables to everything, okay? And right now, when we live in a convergent state, and I showed up on YouTube maybe at this point in time, it's very difficult for me to climb, especially when the rules are just like not made for me. I'm not a convergence guy. I'm the opposite. I'm a spread guy. I spread my unrefined thoughts. I create like minds to mine information. And a lot of what I say can sound like a speculation, which is why people try to avoid it. Right? It's not factual, but that's the only way you can like maintain personality. You can't just be a facts guy. That would be a job, right? You're reporting something. Whether it happens to be unreported or you sent your own operation to build something and then you report on something. But it would be a business report. And it also sounds very different. If McDonald's reported something, it would sound like advertisement. While Mr. Beast does follow convergence, if you want to see a person who follows convergence, it's got to be Mr. Beast because he has to be on top. He knows that he has to swim this whole structure to get to the top. And technically, that's all there is for him because there's no politics involved. If politics was involved, there wouldn't be as much convergence anymore. It would be technically a spread. Technically. Again, convergence is another capitalism thing you should know by now, I hope. So swim into convergence, become a bigger person because you are smaller, more converged, more visible by more people, basically. You are simplified, you shrink your content into a flashy, very, like, understandable by any demographic. It's not language-based type of content. Like, you get it, right? You spawn into the universe, and the first thing you see is Mr. Beast. That is the achievement that the guy is trying to do, right? He has to converge himself into the sun, where everyone sees the sun when they first spawn of, like, what is that thing that gives light? And why is it disappearing? Why the sun is disappearing? It's darkness now. What am I gonna do? It's crazy in here. So, that's what it is. Convergence towards the greatest visibility. Alright? It's an interesting skill by any means. I don't think Mr. Beast is perfect at it. But I don't practice that skill. I don't have a person that has courage for me to be able to practice a skill of convergence. Sorry, guys. Is that so? I also entertain myself by being awake and going off topic, but I have to, pick up a star if it's floating around. I have to pick it up, man. I have to talk about the thing I want to talk about. My brain needs rewards when I open my mouth. It's not free, guys. My content is not free. But you also have the steering wheel, right? So when it comes to bullying, you have the steering wheel. You can tell me the stupid shit that I am insignificant, basically. Wow, that's useful. And that's just the baseline gaslighting. Someone came to my Discord, noticed that I basically talk to myself, and there's not a lot of talkers. Is that my problem? Well, he's gonna fucking tell me, right? Because he knows better. So you have to become the bigger person to start bullying on someone. You have to pretend that you know something. And I see a lot of like these M&M looking letter combinations, right? This is how an avatar looks like in YouTube if you did fucking nothing. You didn't even upload a fucking image. What's wrong with you? You're not even recognizable. You're a fucking letter now. Right? And you're just gonna, like, start bullying already? Is that when you do that? When people bully me, I want to bully as well. I want to start bullying whoever and whatever. Right? It's not people below me. It's not necessary to do that because they have nothing to offer. Right? The only time you bully is, in fact, to, like, supersize yourself and try to slam into another YouTuber and see what happens. If you win the fight, it's fucking insane, right? Like, you're literally that YouTuber's size. You have compared yourself to that YouTuber. So sometimes when gaslighting works, it says something. And again, you get number of subscribers based on your convergence rate, but how powerful you are as a person at a particular topic that you care about, it does turn ugly, man. It does turn into bullying at some point. Let's bully Ukraine to give us some land. Oh, wait, Ukraine is a part of a bigger alliance. Never mind. That sucks. Can't bully Ukraine now. So, as I've said, there has to be a bigger person. The next step is the winner. The winner gaslighting. Bullying can sometimes be very pretentious. The winner gaslight is, again, pointing a finger. Here's the bigger guy, and he's way better. It's a projectionism, right? But not only that, again, this is a lie you adopt. And it's very deeply ingrained in every single person. Okay, it doesn't have to be yellow. All right. So it can actually create a lot of envy. You want to be a winner. You want to follow winners. You follow exact instructions and you copycat them and you do whatever it takes. All right? The winner's existence cannot be possibly gaslighting. But, the law of conversion says otherwise. If you started earlier, you already started at a point just closer to the sun. All right? More people recognize you because people keep stacking below you. Right? When people enter YouTube, they keep on stacking. So it's good. It's always good to start as early as you can muster yourself to start when joining a convergence group. And of course, everyone is trying to trample me because I'm doing my own thing, which is going backwards and spreading myself out, and everyone feels like they're bigger than me because my tentacle is just so fucking easy to stomp on. And, well, it's not exactly true. by spreading out, there's still a little bit of convergence going on. Alright? I still have to maintain the main, hub point where all my information is condensed. And that one is moving forward. Alright? The fact that you stepped on my fucking tentacle is a joke. I will laugh at it. Alright? Do I have to be a winner? Clearly not. Alright? It's just simplification. It's just making sure that you are using, like, the latest technology, the latest innovation. Sure, you acknowledge it. You acknowledge the best things. But, yeah, it's the simple thing of, like, be inspired and not a copycat. Right? You look at the winners and you don't say, I want to be this winner in particular. Even if they're your competitors. Like, if Mr. Beast is my competitor, that it means nothing to be a winner against Mr. Beast. You still have to be yourself in the end of the day. You still have to be your own combination of things. Because the possibilities are endless. The only difference is visibility. Alright? The higher you climb, the difference is visibility. You just have to be bigger. Bigger of the same combination of things. Right? And you also look at winners, there's another thing that happens that's the ultimate gaslighting tactic is they wear makeup, okay? They have helpers. They're not the ones to edit their videos. They're not the ones to build their whole thing. They're not better by default. They receive help because it's another structure of conversion. The higher you are, the more people want to work for you and boost you up still. So because you earn money most of the time. You earn money, you can buy that shit. And that's the greatest gaslight that people just don't notice because you want to be, how are you going to be a winner? You need serious sponsorship. You need people to work for you. It's the only way up there at some point. You can't just do it on your own, which is, it has a name. Alright? It has a name by yourself. We have one step forward in the storyline of gaslighting. So, okay, you gaslight yourself anyways, that you can do it by yourself. Alright. Again, just like we're projecting bullying often through winners. Like, the most dramatic moment is when I point a finger at a YouTuber and I say, bad YouTuber, and everyone says I disagree because I suck dick for that YouTuber. And it's like, what the fuck was that? Okay, I guess there are winners. How much should I pay to also get the same treatment, though? But yeah, it seems like a natural progression somehow. Kind of weird. By yourself, the ultimate gaslight. You can do everything by yourself. Just like it's a mystery. Like, where did that come from? Because it's just the most false narrative you can have, right? The first thing I need, if I need something, the first thing I need is a friendship, right? This is the first thing. If I don't have friendship is scarce, dangerously scarce. People are actively sabotaging relationships, and, well, potentially entire capitalism is falling apart as a result of nobody knows how to build friendship anymore. The most basic structure is gone. Being by yourself and doing things by yourself is an absolute suicide mission, basically. Even with the creation of AI, I immediately am less by myself. I can actually ask questions and get very, very good answers. I can finally confirm some of my beliefs and destroy some of the old beliefs. Just destroy some fears, some negativity. Like, it's so useful. Friendship is not, a burden necessarily. It does burden your privacy very often. It does burden your belief system because you want to believe one thing and your friends are not compatible. it burdens your pathways. Your friend is going that way, you're going that way, fucking separation immediately. What the fuck do you do? Right? And all of a sudden, all friendships across the world has collapsed. That's still not a good excuse to be by yourself. I'm sorry about that. No matter how much the world itself encourages, you still have to acknowledge, at the very least, of how weak you are in the end of the day by yourself. And, well, acknowledge and have to sit with that thought, even if it's you're broke, you have $0 of friendship. You just have to sit with it, right? You have to acknowledge that it's better to almost like conserve your energy, not waste your energy when you know your future might have more friendship than zero. Right, so it's almost like, well, it's best to relax right now. When you're with friends, you're gonna do things faster, do things more efficiently. So might as well just like redirect yourself, position yourself to where like friendship matters more, right? If you do have family members that push you forward, because it starts with family, right? You never by yourself. You should never do that by yourself. And it's the biggest gaslight you can possibly end up with in your hands. Would someone try to do that? I don't know. It's basically you yourself can gaslight yourself that you're just so smart you can do things by yourself. And it's never true. Even in a competitive environment, if it takes like 3 people to do something, you think you're gonna beat them all by yourself? Yeah? This is where a very interesting programming thing comes into play. I'm not by myself. I am using my past self that already solved problems to now solve problems for me in the present. I bring them back. Right? It's called engineering. So you're engineering your shadow versions to help and converse themselves very quickly in a form of competition. Like, I enter a game jam, I need an engine, right? So that's what engineering is supposed to do. Like, it's supposed to speed you up when it's relevant, right? If it's a test of speed, I just happen to have a car. I'm not by myself. I engineered a faster version of myself. How about that? So there is this like weird ass cheat codes to overcome this challenge, even if you're kind of by yourself, is to create past. It's just basically go Naruto mode where you create shadow clones, right? Prepare some shadow clones. It's still it works. All right, it works. You can talk to yourself, but you cannot talk to yourself in one person. Talk to yourself by yourself. You either talk to yourself to an audience or talk to yourself as different characters. You can't just do things by yourself. It's hard. That's why potentially people just don't talk. Right? Too scary. What if nobody bounces your thoughts? I don't know. I don't know what people are scared for, necessarily. Hidden flaws. Or it eventually becomes just practice. The hidden flaws, of course. The hidden downsides. You buy toothpaste and it sets on fire after 2 days. Side effects, guys. People want to hide a lot of side effects, especially when they want to sell you something. Something that is worth $3, they want to sell it for $5. The hidden flaw is that shrinkflation, but you didn't notice. You still feel like you're buying the same shape with the same amount of content, And no, they have been skimming around. I think Mr. Beast is skimming already, introducing those hidden flaws called, hopefully he's bankrupt soon. But yeah, you can make anything out of anything. Alright, it's just how you can make things out of cheaper and cheaper material. You can make shoes out of whatever polyester foam thing is that falls apart very quickly. No one is going to tell you that things are changing when they swap out for the cheaper material. Yes, similar things can happen with anything. Any production can swap out for cheaper material. If it's not perfectly engineered, and if you're using real material, like you can produce a 15-minute video by doing 2 hours of research or 20 hours of research. People always gonna like the bigger number. Sometimes people even fucking clickbait using that. But what does that even mean, right? What is the quality of your research then? Sometimes you just actually hide a lot of bodies under the carpet, announce certain things. It looks good on paper, but the hidden flaws are fucking gruesome. I myself announced I have like the fastest sorting algorithm, right? And everyone loves sorting algorithms. Do I have the fastest one? No, I kind of realized there's definitely a big hidden flaw in it. And it's not worth anyone's attention. That part was not right. It did require people's attention. Because there's the bigger hidden flaw in the whole system of how we interpret and understand sorting algorithms. But okay. Stupid quaternion. We often adopt a lot of these things that have hidden flaws. We literally adopt it into the system until they break and collapse. But that's what it is, right? Like, advertisement sometimes matters more than to accurately give a perfect product. You go outside, have a date, like everything looks fine, and she's retarded. Oops. That one big flaw, I didn't notice somehow. You might want to fix that one. Lack of brain cells. Expectation. So where are we going so far as identifying gaslighting? What do you even expect from this? Do you expect to be more immune to gaslighting? Well, the greatest gaslighting coming from programming, yet again, by yourself, very similar as well, is the expectation that you will finish something at a particular time, that you actually can determine how fast you can do certain tasks, right? And yes, maybe the expectation is correct, but you still gonna refuse to do it. Your brain will still say no, I'm not doing that. And you can always get sick. You can always overestimate your capabilities of what can you do in the day. So it's very good to have actual expectation established. I have the expectation 2 videos a day. I cannot do any more than that. Simple and very effective. And if I'm doing something else, like I do programming, that 2 sessions of programming, how about that? A day. When you establish that expectation, then you can finally understand, yes, I have done days of work. This is how much I've done. And you move on with your life. You're capable of measuring things properly. Having correct expectations is definitely a good self-defense against gaslighting. All right, because people want to bend that shit over as well, right? Everything is bendable in reality, but the biggest bendable thing is your brain, your perception of things. And that's what it is. Like, people will appear nice, people will have big numbers, they will provide something useful that's very attractive to everyone. They will work their asses off to get that number go up. But they will ruin your expectations if you try to subscribe to them. If you subscribe to my channel, the expectation is I'll show up and I'll give something valuable every single time. There's no expectation like that on any YouTube channel besides Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast's expectation, he will show up with a video every 2 weeks. It might be the worst video ever, but it's gonna be there. All right, it's gonna be the most random thing ever, right? The more expectations you can build, technically, the more powerful of a person you are, right? And the gaslighting, again, comes from expecting something, but you were not accurate. You allowed a flawed expectation. So, I can buy, I don't know, Mr. Beast chocolate bar. I expect it to be, what? Better than Hershey's. Oops, it's not better than Hershey's, and it's fucking 4 times more expensive. What do I do now? Probably not buy that shit anymore, right? But when you go all in on an expectation, when you fucking become a gambler of that, oh boy, does that get really scary. It is difficult to be smart in a lot of these categories. Like, you want to do everything by yourself because I'm smart. I'm a winner. I can do this. The fucking smart people gaslight themselves all the time. I gaslight myself all the time. I have expectations that people are going to be good and people are fucking evil and disgusting. Alright? What can I do, man? My expectations are always broken. And that's why I constantly have to reinforce myself and build safeguards. Just some kind of bottom line. If people cannot cross that bottom line, it's probably good to cut them off. Right? If things don't cross that bottom line, I have my own expected price range at which I can buy food. Just everything is set in stone. So don't fucking fluctuate my expectations of like, wow, this looks shiny. I need it now. It must be good. Everyone says it's a good game. I have to buy it now. And, well, they gaslight you, oops. Why would they do that? Fucking, I don't know. Fuck cult mentality, guys. Usually you always see the nice side first. You don't see the dark side. Dark side is actually not as popular. But you can sometimes speak into the critical side. Right? Which sort of still glosses over the nice things first. Because it doesn't want to offend anyone. I don't know what's going on, guys. When I see these things, I don't know why people are so overly nice and try to fucking preserve each other's feelings. Like, feelings are the most fragile thing. You wake up with feelings, and all feelings have to be punched until you go to sleep. Every feeling, I have to punch it. You know? You can expect that from my channel. Feelings will be punched. Whichever one you like. Anyways, escapism. Some people escape this video. Escapism. The greatest gaslight of all time is to distract yourself from what's important, right? Everyone produces escapism material all the time. Anyone can become a nerd overnight, alright? This is where the, like, perceived importance of something skyrockets. And it's, not a flawed thing to say when some people believe in space and rockets and what have you. Escapism is everywhere. And usually escapism is gaslighting yourself that you can just pick this one option and that will be good enough. Just take that one thing. You'll be fine. Use that one strategy. That's escapism. You should technically test most of the things. You should allow failure to take place. Of course, as a smart person, I'm like, well, I'm gonna escape to my own alternate reality, of course. I will solve my problems that way and in the alternate reality first, and it actually works. Again, being smart does bend reality. So you must understand, some gaslighting tactics for smart people fucking works in the end of the day. You do create alternate realities. You do create the unexpected. You start expecting the unexpected. You do have hidden flaws that can be patched probably like in 2 days, and it's like, doesn't matter, alright? Bugs are a feature. You do things by yourself and you, well, bully yourself too, fucking hell. As a smart person, you are the biggest bully, right? So technically, if you're smart enough, you're just gonna gaslight it as if it's your fucking hobby, you know? As if it's a little layer of a challenge to test how smart you are. It is a test, and obviously you shouldn't overdose on that. As well as you should not overdose on escapism. Because you don't wanna. Like, escapism literally looks like you leave the spawn point way too far to venture into a different location, and you don't want to come back to the spawn point. No, set up a base. Like, if you want to escape, set up a base somewhere, but you have to return after a set amount of time. You have to. You can't just venture out into the wilderness and kill off your past self. So escapism is literally just wearing something. Cosplaying is gaslighting in the end of the day, right? And, well, people cosplay as politicians and rich, and they cosplay as attractive or very, very knowledgeable. Your job can be escapism too. But yeah, it's just fascinating form of gaslighting. Almost like rage baiting, because people who are insiders, they perceive such great importance and they have their own fucking rules that they follow. But the reality, is they just cuddle themselves up into a bunker and watching lewd, attractive content of some kind. Something is attractive for them, but it's almost like brain damage. Right? So the reality is, people with escapism, they gaslight themselves to perceive something as attractive just to fill in time. It's just they can bleed. You know, if they don't do it correctly, if it's disconnected from reality. All of a sudden, it can mess up with your brain. It's just like very basic, very interesting gaslighting, where the game is bigger than reality in some cases. Because in the end, like, what gaslighting is gonna make you do is make mistakes. You're gonna break up with people because you want to be this character called gay, right? What is that character people are escaping into? So escapism absolutely creates the gays, the fucking transgender people, the absolutely creates blacks as well in your neighborhoods because your woman needs some escapism. Whatever you can fucking think of. All right. We have to move on now. We have to escape escapism. The money itself. Money! Money! Well, it's the greatest tool for gaslighting, if anything, because it's the pure perceived value. You flash your dollar bills, you put the dollar bills somewhere, and you say, you can get them. And then you create a honey trap. How do you create a honey trap? Passive income as well. Well, first of all, you can do a Ponzi scheme, of course. But the best way is to understand the definition. You have to put money down, like let's say $10,000. Like Mr. Beast puts down money. Big money, look at me, big money here, big money. Oh, big money is good. What are you gonna do with big money? Well, I'm gonna give away big money to a person who wins the said big money. And that's the end of that. Please watch. And the more people watch, the more people are sucked into the honey trap. The honey trap produces more honey that you can turn into more money. And potentially recreate the whole scene and take some profits. It's a fucking loop. Money attracts people. They pay to do something. Pay to watch your shit. Whatever it is. But they're attracted by money. Usually, the honey trap sounds like, I am a very smart person and I will make you rich. Now go to this place and pay me money. I will make you rich, I swear, by asking for your money. That is the most basic bitch honey trap that's like the most widespread insanity. But it somehow worked. Alright, humanity was vulnerable enough for another stupid honey trap to take place. Oh well, but that's the ultimate gaslighting. How? Well, the money itself gaslights you. Your ability to calculate value is diminished when there's too many of you. When you put a pot. Another honey trap is simply known as lottery or gambling, right? You put just a pile of money in front of someone. You can say, you can win $1 million, but you have a very terrible fucking odds at doing so. You still want to buy my lottery tickets. And the guy will say yes, because he's gaslit. Alright, that's how you do it. With money. Money can make things way more attractive. You can win $10,000 and all of a sudden I have to eat that cereal box. I have to because there's a chance. There's a chance. I just have to do whatever the money tells me to do. And that one's fucking crazy. It can get so crazy so fast. Right? The chance of acquiring money becomes a manipulation tactic. And there is the bigger guy. The bigger guy does not even have to show up anymore. Where is the bigger guy? Who has the money? We don't have to care about it sometimes. As well as bigger guys exist and they want to give you money. Of course. But that's the fascinating thing. The bigger guy does not have to exist in terms of lottery. You are simply trapped. There doesn't have to be a bigger guy. There doesn't even have to be a pot of gold in the end of the rainbow. If you get lucky, you get money. No. That's the fucking problem of how much money can gaslight. How little tools it requires. Of course, it's better when money is attached to Mr. Beast, but Mr. Beast represents some kind of pattern of behavior. With lottery, also you're representing some kind of pattern of behavior, but you can still bend it to where it You can still capture a bunch of local people with it, right? You can still trick the system. And it's almost better when there's no face attached to it. But now with AI, people are attaching faces and saying, with Elon Musk's face, that he finally wants to give you some money, Elon Musk. Absolutely. The most believable thing ever. Billionaire giving away money. And of course, that's just how many scams are made. They promise you money in exchange for money. I mean, it's the ultimate Prince of Nigeria scam. I really want to give you $100,000. You kind of deserve it. But I need this $50 right now to do something. Because fucking $100,000 stuck in the system, I can't. I need 50. Whatever, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. But that's the money gaslighting method is literally spread out so in such fantastical ways. Wow. It's easy. The gaslight is easy. Well, unfortunately, nothing is fucking easy. Potentially, it's easy to start something. But again, just like you're not going to be a winner from the very beginning, nothing is easy overall. Everything that is easy is already accomplished, unfortunately. This is how life works. People are attracted by easy things because they want to be gaslit. They want to try the easy things first. But that's the sad reality. No matter what direction you choose, it's not going to be easy. Sometimes even taking an action of just like buying one item can be the hardest thing that ever happened to you. Whether you have $0, your credit card declined. Whoops, what do I do now? Right? Or whether it's just a tough decision to make of, do I really want the item? Does it really worth the money? Even buying a fucking lollipop may not be easy when you put all the variables into, like, I don't know how the lollipop tastes. That would make it easy, actually. When you do know, when you have a taste for something, unless you're addicted to something, it's not going to be easy. Not anymore. Unless you really, really like it, it's not going to be easy. Yeah, I literally often do the easy stuff first. You play a game, and if it's a free roaming game, you just walk around. Just fucking walking around. I can do that. Battle a goblin? Okay, that's... I don't know, man. Why would you ask me to do that? That's crazy, man. Sometimes you even need just to do something easy, you still need a correct mindset to gaslight yourself that it is easy. Or you have to analyze the situation and, well, you have done it so many times. Right? But is it easy, though? What if it took you 20 hours to do it? It doesn't sound easy. How easy is it? It's easy. Everyone just jumping off a cliff, right? This one's the funniest example ever. So everyone's jumping off a cliff. Everyone is succeeding. But the cliff will kill you, right? You jump. What are your chances of success? Like, everyone succeeded, but you don't actually know what are your chances. Unless you can look down and see how many corpses are in the fucking cavity, right? Then you'll know how many people actually succeeded. What are your chances actually when you know the death rate? Not success rate. Success rate doesn't matter. In a professional environment, success rate does not matter. It's easy for professionals. You know, they manage certain things quite easily. You know, they gravitate towards harder and harder things, so something is really easy. But that's what it is. It's very easy to gaslight yourself that something is easy when you don't have full information about that thing. When you see everyone succeeding, but all the failed people, they walked away because they're failing, right? They don't want to participate anymore because it wasn't easy in the first place, right? So by the time, again, you're observing something, it can look easy. When professionals are handling a certain thing, it can look easy, but you just don't know the information of how many people walked away from that thing. They attempted, they shut up about it because they couldn't fucking handle it, right? Making 1 hour YouTube video is easy, boy. Come join. Anyone can do that. Yes, I'm definitely lifting weights every single day, pretty much. Generating brain cells, and is it easy? I mean, now it's kind of effortless. I do make mistakes. Like, there's another factor, that the hidden flaws factor. Like, they're not even hidden. I might make it look easy, but upon further inspection, I do stutter. I do make mistakes. I sometimes say nonsense, or just don't talk in utmost clarity. What can you do? I can always make my own videos harder to make. Alright? We always gonna gravitate towards just an easy feeling checkpoints. 1 hour is just like a very round number, very simple. And since I've achieved it so many times, I have to achieve that easiness. But overall, I'm still a professional, trying to fit in into my own mold. It works for me, but I don't think it's easy, guys. You can sense that people gaslight themselves in order to have courage. That's where courage comes from. You gaslight yourself and you go out there into the battlefields of life and you start doing wacky things until something happens, right? And it is very complicated when, like, a lot of things are hidden because they're not easy. But that's why you have to observe other successful people, and you have to be able to evaluate what's going on, how much effort they are putting in to what they're doing. And it's never going to be easy. Nothing is easy. What? Even breathing is difficult. You might even doing it wrong. Who knows? Existing is not easy. It contains gravity. It will crush you over time. Alright? Things will fall apart. Things will die around you. Just existing is hard. Alright? There's not a single easy thing out there. By any means, talking to other people, having conversations, not easy. So what's the point of stopping, putting brakes on this gaslight? Again, the smarter you are, the easier it gets. Does it become easy fundamentally? That's the gaslight that you have to break. Just because you did it, and it's easy to you, still does not define that thing as easy. Alright? You can still get lost in the sauce, and the other people will still struggle to do the easy tasks. Right? I had in the workplace a very annoyed guy. It was easy for him, and I just didn't understand it. Like, yes, it could be very easy. You show it to me, and he got fucking frustrated, and it's like, what? Are you crazy? It's not easy, man. It's not easy if you haven't done it before. Even if something is easy, there's still conditions of performing the task correctly at least once. If you tie your shoes incorrectly, the only easy thing is not walking, is tripping over and falling down and breaking something. That becomes easy. Alright, you don't want bad things to be easy. The bad outcomes to be easy. Alright, so nothing is easy. You have to double check everything. Anything can go wrong. Fake value. Man, that's just money. Is it not? Well, people can front you with shitty jobs. But basically it's money extraction ritual from you. Your labor is expensive, but you don't know that. You get paid by an hour. How about that? Whatever. But what this talks about is mostly like the value perception. Whether you see a big number or you see labels for healthy food, you're constantly being gaslit that the label is correct. I mean, it's the lie gaslight version. It's a little bit of mixed world, mixed bag. And we're exiting the major gaslight ways. This one just straight up lying to you. But then there's shitty YouTube videos when it's like, well, actually, a cucumber is a nut, a type of a nut. It's not a vegetable. Vegetables actually don't exist, if you think about it. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? There's a lot of science videos where they talk about big numbers. Look at this giant number. Wow, it's so close to infinity, isn't it? But no, infinity is way beyond that. But there's bigger and bigger numbers, dude. Look at this. And it's like, if you calculate the possibility of Rubik's Cube, oh my god, that's a big number right there. It's like a bunch of fake value. A bunch of fucking nothing. Right? It's just given to you. And people are gaslit to think that it's content even. What they're gaslit? What they collectively gaslit. Again, the big number of subscribers tells people of like, yes, this is credible content. It's not fake. But it can be very fucking fake if people accepted something that is not really valuable at all. And they just kept it that way. It's just like, well, we cannot go back anymore. That is a problem. The fake establishment. When you're literally being sold, like every single metric tells you that this is a good thing. And all of a sudden, you realize you're entering a cult of people who worship a fake thing. In the end of the day, the thing does not actually work very well at all. I mean, the best thing, like, you buy a printer. The best example, it's technically very close to expectation, but we have to escape the expectations with the fake value, right? Sometimes there's the hidden cost, a reoccurring payment that you have to make. The fake value of like, well, I can lease the object. I heard about leasing from Captain Sparkles and it's miserable. Alright? It's miserable if it's 25-year contract, at least. What the fuck is that? Or for something that you're supposed to own. So that could be faked as well, where like it's not even a good value proposition, it's just there. Or it's just a fake thing right there. It's not even competitive, potentially, but it sells. If it sells, it's there. Like, a lot of fake things can exist, a lot of fake businesses can exist, because they still manage to sell something. In the end of the day, it doesn't even matter if it's fake. I heard, like, John Oliver talk about completely like fake drugs that people were mixing up and just selling in these gas stations, and it's not regulated at all. And if you can sell it, damn the shit that's gonna be fucking popping. All right, people are gonna sell all kinds of shit in there. If you can sell a rock, there's gonna be a rock selling shop immediately. Maybe 5 of them will pop up across the area where rocks can be sold. Like, fuck's sake. Is the rock shop actually valuable? You don't know. Just because something exists doesn't mean it's valuable. I've heard there's some foods that take more energy to digest than they give off, right? I don't know. You eat salad and imagine it takes more energy to digest. And is it fake or true? Like, we don't know, but cows look pretty miserable eating grass. I don't know, they have to do it the entire fucking day. To me personally, the most fake value is a girlfriend, okay? It's better to have an ex than a girlfriend. It's better to leave people behind than adopt them. But that's what it is sometimes. You don't calculate the hidden costs. You think, shit, I'm just gonna own a car and I'm gonna drive everywhere. You buy a car and you drive fucking nowhere. You gaslight yourself that you're gonna use something, you're gonna buy a bunch of games, and you use fucking none of them. Right? It's, oh, shiny, I have to buy it. You throw your money away. And you don't even use the damn thing. So again, gaslighting is technically stupidity. Right? It's the study of stupidity, if anything. You must not make these mistakes, where in the end of the day, you are losing focus, you're losing money, and you're told that you are insignificant in general. You must resist that sort of treatment. And the funny thing is, the more you stack, the more you bully yourself into trying to win some escapism tournament. I'm sorry, bro. The more you stack, the worse it gets. The stupider it can get, man. You bully yourself to win an escapism tournament where you win some Bitcoin, but they break your expectations entirely by saying it's easy. And it was fucking gruesome. Like, it's just spawning into Mr. Beast videos. Like, well, I love Mr. Beast videos. What can possibly go wrong? And then you have to survive 30 days in the middle of forest. You know, yes, you'll have friends, but you will lose. You'll get here's $4,000 for you guys. Thank you for participating. You get fucking nothing, basically, as a compensation. That just happened recently, to be honest. Mr. Beast is starting to do the stupid shit. Starting to trick everyone but the audience, I feel like. So, if anyone knows about gaslighting the most, anyone who actively tries to stupefy people and take advantage of them, is absolutely Mr. Beast and every billionaire out there who's building businesses. That's what most businesses are made out of. Pure gaslighting. What you expected people to produce valuable things and sell it to you as if they're actually valuable? Are you crazy? Someone's gonna set up shop and start selling cars because cars are valuable, and they get a lot of money that way? Forget about that. How about not build a single building and just sell subscriptions to a bunch of services online? And potentially give you no value, just feed into your escapism and expectations. In the end of the day, just because something survived capitalism doesn't mean they extracted value in regular means. Sometimes, and very often, they just abused a bunch of stupid people. And they got money that way. Just the dirty path exists. Dirty path is not the best path by all means. It is competitive for limited time only. When people start educating themselves, then you can't trick them anymore. The problem is people do fall for it, and the comment sections are just filled with gaslighters, man. You can't even talk to a person who haven't been gaslit in some way or the other. Truly stupefied, zombified, and just, damn, dragged down into the death spiral. Yes, if you want to avoid the death spiral, you must avoid this one by all costs. Thank you guys for watching. We did it. We talked about something yet again. And it should give you a better perspective of capitalism. Yeah, I mean, that's a fucking big, just the strategy, the blueprint of capitalism unveiled. There's one more gaslighting. The money itself is gaslighting, especially nowadays. The fiat money, the printable money. I forgot to mention, but this was so fascinating. Because, well, you're saving money. That means fucking nothing nowadays. Saving money means nothing. And what is the escape route? There's no escape route. You can only buy property. This is scary shit, man. Even the money itself has fake value nowadays, right? They attached fake value to money. They combined the whole thing together to where everything is inflating, and you can't just keep money. It's losing value every single time. You can't actually save big chunks of money. It's gonna bleed the value. Of course, only if you can invest into something or buy something valuable. But yeah, you should do it immediately, it seems like. Unless it's technology, that don't do it. And it gets confusing like that. If it's food, buy it immediately. If it's food items, buy it immediately. If it's something else, don't bother. You can wait. So you have to check also what is inflating, but that's another just like gaslighting tactic. Even money is not safe. Money is like ice now. It's melting. Just when you hold it. It's rotting. Fuck that, man.